Hi, welcome to today's community chat. We're here with Markel Bonds. He is the executive producer of A Seat at the Table, which is happening next Thursday, so a week from today, mark your calendars, at the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art. It's a Something in the Water community event. I know everyone is excited for some of the events to come, and this is one that's happening the night before the festival begins. So I'm going to bring them on, and we're going to have a conversation, just letting you guys know what to expect. So Markel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I think, and I said this as you walked in, but the hype for Something in the Water this year is there, and everyone's excited for the community events, the actual festival, to the free events at the festival, to all of the events in between with Yellow and some of the other organizations. So really appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. We are very excited as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, first, just get started. Can you just tell us what your role is and how it's going?
Yeah, no, I'm serving as the executive producer for A Seat at the Table. I'm facilitating through the Urban League of Hampton Roads. And for A Seat at the Table, we are partnering with Virginia MOCA. They've been gracious enough to allow us to use their space, and we're very excited to do so. So A Seat at the Table, in a sense, will be an arts and culture celebration, very intentionally celebrating arts and culture within the Black community as well as other minority communities. Our presenting sponsor will be Walmart. We are very excited to work with Walmart on this venture as well as with our other sponsors. But just like you said, it'll take place at Virginia MOCA next week on Thursday from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
And, they're putting this right at the start of the festival, really opening right before, the opening day.
Right.
They want this to be a big aspect, celebrating the culture, celebrating the arts. Can you talk about why this event was so important?
Right. No, definitely. Yeah. I feel like there's natural synergy there with the Something in the Water Festival. I think it's a great event, especially for Virginia, but also for the creative community. And I think a lot of times Hampton Roads can always use more support, especially with what we're doing. So we were able to not only feature the spring exhibit that MOCA already has in their museum, but we were able to select 4 additional artists to be featured throughout the event. So we'll be featuring Chris Green, who's an acrylic painter. We also have Quirky. He does sculptures and Afrofuturism type painting. And then we also have Ashley Rennell. She's actually a Portsmouth business owner. She owns Art House Noir, which is a residential gallery. And then last but not least, we have Loscar Creations, who goes by Jay Ortiz. He does epoxy and resin styled art. But I think it's very important to increase and amplify these platforms as well as connect people with the resources that will be strengthened and displayed throughout the Something in the Water Festival.
Absolutely. And where music can sort of take center stage, obviously, at the festival, to have a venue like this, to be able to showcase other sides of culture and art is such a wonderful platform.
Definitely.
Yeah, to continue that. The one thing I want to talk about is Virginia MOCA. They do a good job of not just having art on the walls, right? They're bringing things to life. They have a purpose. They just had one, a month or two ago that was talking about homes and homelessness and what a home means. And what a great place to sort of take that. Like, they take the art off the walls. To have these artists there, presenting that are local. What was the decisions, going back to maybe planning of figuring out what artists, you wanted to bring into this?
Right. And Virginia MOCA is very unique in that they are a non-collecting gallery, similar to the gallery that Ms. Gary Ryan, the CEO and director of Virginia MOCA, previously worked at. So again, we're very excited to work there. As far as selecting the artists, as well as the musicians, we kind of just looked right in our backyard. There are various and multiple artists to select from in this area, so it made it challenging. But we were able to select these artists with the collaboration of our team. Essentially, everybody submitted different people, and we looked through the submissions, and we kind of selected what we felt like would curate the evening the best, as well as the music. We will have Fortresses doing live music at the event. Fortresses is a local jazz band. We'll also have 2 DJs throughout the evening, DJ Joe Froxy as well as Fake Azumi. Both are very well-known local as well as nationally renowned DJs. So we're very excited to feature them as well as the participants on our panel. We really wanted to show different creatives from different sectors and also be able to connect, show information, as well as highlight them at the same time.
And, thanks for bringing up the panel. I think that's a very good space to have that in, to be able to have that conversation, especially going into a weekend where, music and performance is sort of going to take over to set the stage of what that means, the night before. But do you know some of, the questions or some of that dialogue, that might take place on that panel? Yeah,
definitely. Great question. We also just sent the information out to our panel, so they're very excited. But our panel will be moderated by Stephanie Walters. Stephanie is very familiar with WAVY, as well as she's the director of engagement for Pharrell's nonprofit, Team Yellow, who plays a gracious part in the Something in the Water Festival. So Stephanie will be our moderator. Some of the questions you may hear will ultimately center around arts and culture, whether that's the status and the future of arts and culture in Hampton Roads, as well as how to find resources, how to establish yourself as a creative in whatever sector it may be, as well as, what you may hope for or tell someone who is in the area. And again, our panelists are from different sectors of creativity. We have a fashion designer who goes by Dr. Cameron Hawkins. He's actually a Hampton University graduate. We also have Asa Jackson. He's the director of the Contemporary Arts Network in Newport News. Asa is very familiar with the area, very tied with MOCA. We also have the amazing Miss Tamara Wellens. She's the president of the DC chapter of the Recording Academy, who hosts the Grammys every year. So she has connections and is from Hampton Roads. And last but not least, we also have Sergio Lorenzana, as well as Miss Gary Ryan, who is a cinematographer and the director of the MOCA, respectively. So we're
really
very excited.
People there are going to have the opportunity to sort of mix with, some of these, people with great advice that otherwise they really might not get access to.
Right. And not only will they be able to gain this advice, but also they'll be able to rub shoulders with these people, talk to them, be able to learn about them, as well as connect with them throughout the event. And, not only whether you're in VIP or not, because we do have a VIP art gallery as well as general admission, but the auditorium is where we're going to host the panel. So everybody will have the opportunity to also ask questions to these people as specific as you want. So we're very excited to have our panelists.
Absolutely. And, is there going to be a concert section, where that takes place after the panel? I mean, I think people are curious too, and we're so interested in some of the more like existential questions, I guess.
Yeah.
But, what is the night going to be like? I know you all have a schedule up that people can see, but
Definitely.
Can you just give us a look at, what the night's going to look like?
Right. Whether or not you've been to Virginia MOCA, we are going to have an arts and culture celebration, and we're going to utilize the entire museum. We will have general admission access as well as VIP. So on the right wing of the museum, we'll have live music, live art demonstrations. There's also the spring exhibit that MOCA is featuring, which is a massive gallery featuring Kara Walker, as well as Miss LaToya Hobbs, who are both internationally renowned artists. So within that area, you should expect also cash bars. We'll have beer and wine throughout the evening. Along with our live art, we will have performers. On the left end of the gallery, we will have our VIP section, which will also feature the same things plus a few additions special to our VIP guests. So essentially it's live music, live art, the panel conversation, great conversation going on amongst people throughout the evening, and really going to celebrate and have a good time and bring the festival in a great manner. So we invite everybody out. We still have tickets left. General admission tickets are $25 and VIP tickets are $75, and all of the tickets go directly to the community. Essentially, this is a fundraiser with the Urban League of Hampton Roads, which is a nonprofit organization that serves the community free of charge. So these ticket purchases will go to scholarship giveaways, it'll go to housing assistance programs and things of that nature. And we've been gracious enough not only to connect with Walmart as our presenting sponsor, but we also would love to thank our other sponsors, which include Bank of America, Riverside, Rivers Casino, as well as our in-kind sponsors, Charles Barker, Hallmark, just to name a few. So we're very excited to connect with different people, make sure everybody has a good time. Attire is artistic, semi-formal. We want everybody to feel good and look good while they're having a good time.
And, those are some big names you listed that are the presenting sponsors.
Yes, ma'am.
I think, what do you think about that? I mean, does that speak to how important this event is? I mean, what do you think sort of draws, those corporations?
And I think it's just like you said in the beginning, before we got on, the community initiatives and the community relations of this event is something that is very powerful. I think Pharrell has created an amazing platform for us to appreciate and enjoy, and it's something that's very peaceful. And I think that this year especially, in comparison to even the 2019 Something in the Water, the community initiatives and the importance of community is premium to what they're doing. So I think that the different, whether it's the D&I department or the community relations department of these different sponsors, were more than excited, to connect when they heard about the nature of the event and the fact that all of the proceeds are going directly to the community. So I think it's just, a given. Everybody's on the same page. We want to help how we can.
Absolutely. And I mean, that makes sense too, going back to what we talked about with all of the local artists that are involved. You guys aren't bringing people in from different, states around the world. And there are, artists obviously coming to perform that are, world class. They're traveling internationally. But you all chose for this event to have that local feel, to be a part of the community. Right.
Yeah, definitely. Not only just for recognition, but even these artists, especially the artists specifically that do art. Saying artists isn't always the best term because people do music as well, but these artists that are now being able to have a spot in MOCA, even though it's not, an official part of their spring exhibit, they are able to make the connection as well as to spread their network of what they're doing. And we did very intentionally select artists who are in this DMV 757 area because they're essentially who holds the area together. And I think that they always deserve appreciation. We even had one of our artists, Chris Green, sponsored or featured on Walmart's community initiative platform that will be shown during the live stream of the Something in the Water Festival, which will be featured on YouTube. So that's going to be an amazing opportunity for Chris. And, they found our event and then they found him and, essentially they provided the resources. So we're very thankful for our sponsors and the part that they do play in this event.
Yeah, I mean, that's great just for the platform. And, I want to talk to, for people watching, also it will be, a fun event with, we got live music and ours we spoke about, but also food and different, and it is 21 and over event.
Yes, ma'am.
But, I think that probably plays in more obviously to the conversation as well, right? So it's not just about, the food and drink atmosphere, but do you want to speak to some of those vendors or who's going to be there?
Yeah, we will have some food trucks outdoors. We'll have Avocargo. Avocargo worked with Pharrell with the Mighty Dream event that happened in September of last year. We'll also have Large Brothers Catering outdoors. We also will have Max Media with their media truck outside to connect with different people. And we even are giving away a free Something in the Water ticket right now. And we're also engaging some HBCU students to do some giveaways for the festival as well. So there may be, a few college students that are there throughout the evening who may not fit this 21 plus role, but essentially they work with the Urban League, they volunteer their time. So, besides them, we'll also have Ingenious Gin. They will be featuring their brand, which is a local veteran-owned alcohol in the area. And then we're working with a lot of other different people as well to do sound, lighting. We're also working with Gourmet Gang to do our hors d'oeuvres for the VIP area, as well as to facilitate our service throughout the evening. So we'll also have Charles Barker outdoors with 2 vehicles. They've been gracious enough to, allow us to display some of their vehicles and sponsoring and just to create more of a artistic atmosphere for people. So it's going to be a great night. If you don't have a ticket already, you should definitely get one. VIP tickets are almost gone, but we want everybody to come and attend if they can.
And, the one thing I did want to ask too is this event definitely would have brought people in whether, you all decided to make it donation based or not.
Right.
And, I think that added level of, the money going somewhere before the festival. I mean, to care about those community events. I mean, is there any relation between, lifting up the arts and culture and then giving back to sort of, the area down here? I mean, what was sort of the start to that idea?
Right. No, definitely. Well, firstly, we definitely appreciate the Something in the Water team officially sanctioning this as an event. Essentially we were going to go forward with it either way because it is for the community, just like you said. And naturally, the Urban League as well as the Virginia MOCA are both nonprofit organizations. So the Urban League's pillars essentially surround education, housing, health, and finance. So naturally there is a connection to do fundraising as well as to provide these services to the community. Essentially it's a civil rights organization along with a nonprofit, and the goal of the Urban League is to close the wealth gap between Black Americans and white Americans. So essentially it's natural, it's on the top of our mind, and we weren't even looking to necessarily gain profit. The main piece of it originally was to celebrate arts and culture, to share this platform that Pharrell has created with us to a national level with some of our local artists who deserve to be heard, who deserve to be seen, or who have great stories. And we're always looking to support the community. I think the Something in the Water team, as well as Walmart, also had the same idea. So the fact that it is a fundraiser is just like the icing on the cake. And it's an amazing opportunity. And even if you can't, attend, we still can take donations for, the community. And it's something that is tax deductible because of the nature of the organizations.
That's really interesting. I mean, that you all, were sort of planning this event, in conjunction with what's happening at Something in the Water, and then it sort of teamed up, that effort.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. They put out a opportunity to propose an event. We saw the opportunity. We met with our team, created the outline as they instructed. It was almost like writing a grant. This is what we need. So we as Pharrell said at the Mighty Dream, we tried to create what's missing. So we definitely are appreciative for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And, the other thing I wanted to say, if you can't attend this event, and there is some B-roll going on the screen that Markel gave us, showing some of the people on the panel and also some of the artists that are going to be there. Right. I mean, you can look up these artists, right? They're on, I'm sure, YouTube, Instagram, everyone's now on all the, social media for part of their, music platform or art platform. But, I'm assuming you've seen some of these artists before, or you've started networking with them. I mean, they're playing locally, right? In Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News, wherever they're at. So, in your perspective, and you're performing there too, I mean,
yes, ma'am.
How does this compare to other venues that you've played before?
Right. Well, I mean, Virginia MOCA is, a premier place. It is a place that is a heartbeat and a hub for creativity in Virginia Beach. I also think Virginia Beach is a very unique area as well. So to have this level of artistry, whether it's somebody who's establishing themselves, right? MOCA has some artists in residence who have great accomplishments, but they're also looking to reach a level such as Care Walkers, right? All the way up into some of our panelists who, I mentioned the Hampton University graduate. Since he's graduated from Hampton, he's opened 3 storefronts. He's been featured by Google and Revolt TV. These are great accomplishments. So to have this caliber of artists and to come to this area, I think is very inspiring for other creatives in the area. Because one thing Hampton Roads definitely has is creatives, whether it's dancers, painters, artists, people who do murals, whatever the case may be, or even down to, podcasting or media and things of that nature. So, I think we're just honored to have this caliber of participants in our event. They are very excited as well to connect with the Something in the Water brand because that essentially helps them as well. We wanted to, again, share the platform as much as we possibly could because it can help so many people to do more, even better, great things.
Absolutely. And mentioning that, there are so many districts popping up. There are so many festivals and different things happening right now in this area where we're really trying to uplift that, between the Vibe District. I know some things are happening down there, for Something in the Water. So, there's a lot of connection points happening right now for everyone. Yeah,
the Vibe District is amazing. I'm a big fan of the Vibe District, as well as just the other community organizers who are doing things for Something in the Water. And essentially we're going to have a unique museum experience. A lot of people have reached out to me like, I've never done anything like this. What should I expect? I just think you should expect, probably something you've never experienced before, but something you won't forget.
Well, I think, we covered so much of what's happening, and I think people are just going to have to go and see, what comes from these panel conversations and questions in the audience, because that will just take it to a different level, obviously, seeing what help people need or what advice they need. I mean, you're performing there, and,
yes, ma'am.
and you're going to be there. Is there anything you hope people bring to the event? I mean, do you hope people show up that maybe are even aspiring artists that don't, you know, they're not that platform yet? I mean, who do you hope, you know, shows up and asks for advice?
Yeah, well, if you show up, I hope you bring a friend, you know, or a coworker or something of that sort. You know, I'm expecting to see, just like you said, emerging artists, maybe new creatives, people who are starting up their business, all the way up into, you know, people who work within the corporate world of, you know, different corporations, different sponsors, different people from the Something in the Water team. You know, very intentionally, there's going to be people in the room that should meet other people in the room. You know, we want to try to place all the right people in the area. And whether or not you're in the creative community, there's still something there for you. You know, there's still a great time for you. So we're expecting really to see what the heartbeat of Hampton Roads is. That's who we want to come to this event. And we also want them to pull somebody else in who may not be as familiar with it. Because I do think we do a lot of things here, but a lot of times we can better work together. And I think that this is a great collaborative effort. I'm expecting also to see all of the other community organizers for the Something in the Water Festival. As you mentioned, there's a lot of things going on at Vibe District, 24th Street Stage, 17th Street Stage, and these are all free community events as well. So, you know, if you want to know what's going on for the weekend, you definitely should be there. And if you're going to get involved in any type of way, I would invite you out as well, and we would love to have you. You can get your tickets at ulhr.org/seat at the table as well.
Great, and I have that linked here for anyone watching, and we'll also have it up on WAVY.com with some of the information from this chat. But Markel, is there anything else that you want to add or you want to speak to?
I just would like to thank WAVY for allowing us to share the platform and let more people know about this event. We're very appreciative for the opportunity and the support. Again, I would like to thank our sponsors. I would like to thank the amazing team at Urban League. You know, special shout out to Danny and Letitia for helping piece this together, as well as Robbie from the Something in the Water team. So we're very excited to have you. Again, VIP tickets are selling fast. You know, we want you to get tickets. We will be selling tickets at the door, probably just general admission. Again, everything is donation-based. This is a semi-formal event. You can get your tickets at the link on the screen. But ultimately, we want you to come out and have a good time and make it something to remember to kick off the festival.
And come out as yourself. I like the way that you talked about how to dress. You know, I think that's important. You know, nobody needs to, you know, dress cool a certain way because of who they're running into. You guys want everyone to show up with their own originality and their creative side. Yeah,
we said dress to express, you know, was kind of the term we went with. But, you know, whatever makes you comfortable, it makes you feel like, you know, you are expressing yourself in what you're looking for, then we encourage it. And we, again, thank you for the support in advance.
Well, Markel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone that's tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, and WAVY.com. And this will be available, you know, living there on YouTube and Facebook, and also an article on WAVY.com today. So thank you so much, Markel. Thank you for joining us. And thank you. And good luck on the event next week.
Thank you. I will see you guys at a seat at the table.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.